We learned in the previous topic about analyzing text. In this topic, we're going to look at responding to text and things that we need to look for before we actually respond. Now, there's different ways in which the media or an author will impress themselves on a particular reader, because language and structures of text are impressed on the reader with a variety of sources. And one of these is typology. And typology is one of the techniques that enhance and highlight specific text to get your attention. It is the look of printed matter. So they would enhance the text by bolding it, italic it, underline it, make it a different color, make it big. So they'll make certain words stand out to get your attention to those words, whatever the case may be. You've probably at some point in your life read a particular text and all of a sudden you said, oh, what the heck with this text? Or what's happening here, or what's going on here. Have a look at the words that you read, and that would have generally created your response in terms of how you reacted. Now, when you're writing, obviously we can't react in that particular way. We've got to use a particular mannerism depending on the audience that we are responding to. All right, so in this topic, we're going to have a look at the different things that we need to look for in order to respond to text. Bias is an opinion or tendency to be strongly for or against a person and or thing. Now, as we learned in Cluster 1 about a fact or an opinion, being biased relates to an opinion or a belief you may have about a specific idea, a thought, or a person. Remember, we spoke about the Mercedes-Benz. John liked his Mercedes-Benz really much, and he says they're the best cars on the market, but he had no facts to basically sustain his statement. All right, that was about a belief, it was an opinion, it was his opinion, and he was biased against other cars and saying, oh, other cars are bad and they're not really good cars. So in case of that, that's the difference between being biased. It's a judgmental opinion, and it's the tendency either for or against a specific thing. Then we need to be aware of sarcasm and irony. All right, sarcasm is to be sarcastic, is to use irony to mock or convey contempt. Now, if we take a look at the example there, Bill's favorite soccer team lost on the weekend. His teammates tell him, your team did well, huh? And George will probably say, well, Bill, your team played pretty well on Sunday, huh? All right. This means that irony is the stating of one thing, but meaning the exact opposite. But we're being sarcastic or using sarcasm to maybe express to Bill that his team didn't do well. So we actually want to tell him that his team did well, but we're using sarcasm to express this. Hyperboles are exaggerated statements that are not meant to be taken literally. Now remember, literal meaning means exactly what we say, and in this case, it's not literal, it's figurative. If we have a look at the example there, George, I told you 1,000 times I don't play soccer. The exaggeration would be 1,000 times, because you've probably only told him once or twice, but now you're exaggerating it and you're making it bigger. So that generally is a hyperbole. Generalizing and stereotyping is another way of exaggeration, or another way of making a comment specific to a type of group of people or a type of thing. All right, so it's a broad statement and it says all people are the same, or all groups of people are the same, or all groups of things are the same. In the example, the very common one that people use today is, and that people think about, is all blondes are stupid, and generally not all blondes are stupid. So that generally would be a stereotyping. All right. Then we need to take grammar into consideration. Grammar means the whole structure of a language, including the punctuation and rules for the way words are formed. This forms the relationship between the sentences. Now, it's very easy to change the entire meaning of a sentence by changing the order of the words. Be aware of words and their use in context of the message that is being sent is important. Repetition means to say the same thing over again, just using different words. So let's take a look at Grumpy over there. Grumpy says, I will kill you dead. If I kill you, you are dead. Okay, kill and dead means the same thing. All right, hurry up quickly. Hurry up means quick. I smell it in my nose. Really? That's where we smell. We smell with our nose. So at the end of the day, when we use grammar, we must make sure that we're using the correct words at the correct time in the correct contexts. Captions are titles or brief explanations printed with an illustration or a cartoon. Just like in the example there, it's something that expresses or explaining the man, or this man is very grumpy, or he is really having a bad day. So it's a title or a brief explanation that's printed on the cartoon. Then lastly, but by no means least, we need to take into consideration the register. Now, the register refers to the type and style of written text produced by the writer. We get informal registers, which are short messages and or emails to friends and or family. So we'll use different words. We can't use the same words to friends and family that we would to colleagues or to professional people, or maybe even our boss or people of authority within our organization. So formal register is the formal written content to someone of professional nature. In the example, good day George, trust you are well. The report will be sent by 3 o'clock this afternoon. Kind regards, Bill, as opposed to, hey buddy, how are you doing? See you at lunch, John. You see the difference? Informal and formal registers. And that's a wrap for Cluster 2, Topic 4, Responding to Texts. Let's take a look at the main ideas. Written content is impressed on readers in different ways. Bias is the tendency to be opinionated about a topic, thing, person, or group of people. Sarcasm, hyperboles, irony, and stereotyping are ways in expressing written and oral messages. Grammar is the whole structure or putting together of words using rules of writing and punctuation. Captions are little statements made about an illustration and or diagram. Register is the type of words used in contextual situations.